Hey guys, Pete here. So one of the biggest questions I get is about employees and employee problems, and it sends me back to a lesson that I learned. I guess I was in Germany. I was probably about 23, 24 years old. Um, I was in a platoon, and we had a staff sergeant step in, and he put us at what's called parade rest. Now, keep in mind, we've been out of basic training, so all this attention stuff is kind of calmed down. It's kind of reserved for when you're in trouble. So we had this new staff sergeant who's going to take over, and the first thing he did is locked us at parade rest. Now, parade rest is a military position one grade down from attention. It's not very comfortable. And as he is walking back and forth and explaining to us that the good old days are over, that he is now in charge and that this is the way things are going to function going forward, we're thinking, oh my gosh, we're in trouble. We've got a jerk. Because generally in every company, there's one platoon that has a platoon sergeant that's a jerk. He's just riding everybody, screaming at everybody. And because of his rank, there's nothing you can really do. It's the Army, right? You really can't do much about that. Well, the interesting part about that is that after a day or two, he settles down, and because we're talking to each other, oh my gosh, what have we got ourselves into? What are we going to do with this guy? He's hard, and he's this and he's that, and so he starts to approach us, and he starts to relax a little bit and laugh with us and joke, and he may tell a joke, and then after a while we're laughing. Oh, he's cool. Well, he had just utilized a tactic on us that we didn't understand. Now, by contrast, I remember there was our MOS, our job was over full. So I was what we call E4P, which means I passed the test for promotion. Now it comes to a point system to see who gets promoted. But we were so overwhelmed that we didn't get promoted. We were stuck there for years. The other job at our side, which was a 52 Delta, they had higher turnover, and we see these young guys come in and get promoted over us, and all of a sudden they're walking around and they're sergeants and we're not, right? And so we'd have this attitude because we knew the kid, we knew these guys. So I was thinking about Sergeant Klitzner, who was for us just Klitz for years, it's just Klitz, and all of a sudden he's walking in, he's trying to tell us what to do, and we're going, yeah, whatever. We did not respect him. It just, we knew him, he was just one of us, and all of a sudden he was promoted. Well, the Army understood that, and so shortly after his promotion, they transferred him over, and when he came into a different platoon with no history, even though he was a brand new sergeant, he immediately got respect because of his Army and because of the training that the Army had provided. So fast forward many years, I'm an HVAC business owner, and these skill sets or these lessons come into what I began to experience with my company. And what did I do? I'm nice to my employees. Will you please do me this favor? And I go in and jump in and help them. And all of a sudden they started getting comfortable with that, and they began to take a position of arrogance as opposed to subordinate, right? And so we're going through this whole thing, and finally I just snapped one day. I said, I'm asking for my technician to help me out on a job tomorrow, and he says, oh, I can't, I gotta do this thing, whatever. And I said, buddy, if you aren't there when I need you, then I don't need you. It was just, it had built up to that point. I just kind of snapped at him, and he did like this, and it dawned on me, I did not lay down the proper expectations going in. And I see this with you guys, your owners now, and you're trying to be your employee's friend and everything else, and that's admirable on one hand. But on the other hand, you're totally losing respect. Now you got to keep in mind, your employees did not just come out of basic training. They've not been put into a situation where they just can't quit and they got to deal with whatever it is you give them. So that's a little different. It's just the opposite. They're coming out of mommy and daddy's house. They've never had discipline. They've never had a job. So it's a different skill set. But it doesn't take away from your responsibility to establish expectations on the front end. They must make it very clear. You will get treated respect here as long as you follow the rules. And the rules are, you will be to work on time or you will not work here. You need to understand that. If you're going to be late, you better leave early, right? If you think you're going to be late, you better be leaving early, because we won't tolerate that here. If you're not at home, you leave your telephone off. You leave your telephone in the vehicle for emergencies, right? I don't want to see you on the telephone. You were at work, right? You need to understand this. We can't work and chat our girlfriends at the same time, or whatever that may be, right? So establishing expectation is crucial. And the only way to do that is to pre-think what all you want to include. So if you start to, if you miss things and then later come in and say, oh, by the way, we're going to start doing this. Whenever you take this, your employees' level of freedom, and all of a sudden you take that away and you make it more difficult for them, they resist. But if you establish all of this on the front end, like the staff sergeant that took over our platoon, he laid it down, this is the way it's going to be. Then when you pull back a little bit, they really appreciate it. Okay, so that's just the tip for today. I hope that makes sense. Be a leader. Don't just be a friend. Pete Ramsey, your HVAC greatness. Talk to you later.